Welcome back. Well, Judy, earlier this week I had a chance to chat with Caleb Kinchlow. He is an Emmy-winning host and multimedia producer with a focus on technology and youth empowerment. And he's also written a book for parents to help navigate through the digital landscape as it relates to children's online activities. And that's been something that we constantly talk about.
It is such a huge issue,
Yep.
and it's difficult to, for parents to really get a grasp of it.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at that conversation. Well, Caleb, thank you so much for joining us today. And you have just written a book called Parents, Kids, and Technology, A Parent's Guide to Raising Kids in the World of Technology. First of all, why did you write this book?
Well, Demetrius, over the past few years, we've seen these influx of headlines involving kids with depression, anxiety, and suicide, things of that nature. And with these headlines, there were two things that were in common. The first one is that it obviously involved technology. But the second thing was that the parents were just completely unaware of what was going on with their kids, which is why I created this resource. At the end of each chapter, there's a discussion guide and key takeaways to help parents have those crazy conversations and also stay ahead of the game and be made aware.
Cell phones are around all the time. Tablets are around all the time, and I find kids are on them constantly. What should parents be looking out for with technology constantly changing?
Right. So there's a couple different things with that, and there's obviously it is always evolving. Well, the first thing I talk about is you have to put filters on all the devices. If the device has an on switch and Wi-Fi, you have to know more than just the name of the device. So parents have a responsibility to be aware of the kind of access that they are giving to their kids. The second thing I also talk about is have the kids engage with you to really talk through some of their favorite things. Just like with adults, if there's something that you find that's really interesting, you want to share it. So as parents, we need to also talk with our kids and say, hey, what are you looking at? What's interesting you? What's on Snapchat? What's on Kik and TikTok? And that way they can kind of talk to you through some of the things that are going on.
And a lot of times it's hard to keep up because I know some adults, they're just not used to all the changes that are constantly going on. Is there something, your book is going to give that resource, of course, that resource for parents, but what else should maybe parents should be looking out for? Should they be looking out for their kids kind of hiding things or things of that nature? Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that actually we do it in our household, here's the first thought, parents need to realize this. The kids have access to the technology because you are paying for that particular technology. So really, it's your right, if you want to be able to check through the smart device, to check through the game system, check through the phone, to see what they're talking about. Something else that you can do is there's software out there. There's lots of different software, but the one that I actually recommend is called Bark. The way it does is it allows you to set filters. So if there's a certain word that pops up or a certain image that pops up or different context, you get a notification to your phone. That way you stay involved in what's going on with your kid's life. If something that happens that they can't handle, you can say, hey, you know what, son or daughter, I saw this on the phone. Let's talk through this issue. That way it's not just you as a parent having to helicopter, but it becomes a family discussion.
And that's a term that a lot of people always say, helicopter parent, and we don't want parents to be helicopter parents, but a lot of times in this day and age, there's so much that's going on with social media, with the phones, with apps that parents don't want to be that helicopter parent, but at the same time, they want to keep their kids safe.
Right, absolutely. Just like how you, as parents, we research what's happening, in the media and the news. It's the same thing with your kids. You have to research what's happening with the kids, but also by having the filters in place to block certain content, and also filters to allow you to see what's going on. It allows you as a parent to be able to engage with your kid and have ongoing conversation. You see, it's not just one conversation; it's continual conversations as they progress. As they get older and as they get access to more technology.
And that's really the subject, really the topic that we need to remember: engagement with your children. Absolutely. About what they're doing all the time.
Absolutely, because, and technology changes, and even their preference on social media platforms that they want to be on. Yeah. All of that changes, and, it's hard for parents to stay on top of those things, but staying engaged with your kids is what makes the biggest difference.
Very important. TikTok, that came out of nowhere.
I know,
what's a TikTok? Other clock,
Exactly.
So Caleb's book is called Parents, Kids, and Technology, A Parent's Guide to Raising Kids in the World of Technology. You can go to his website. It's calebkinchlow.com to find the book. There's an e-version, also an audio version and a hard copy version to give you all the tools that you need to stay informed.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.